Hey, what's up guys? It's Lance, and today I want us to recreate the new Netflix logo. What you're seeing on the screen now is the old one, so let's delete that one and take a look at the new design. This is the new, sleeker, just more refined logo, which I really liked, and I wanted to try and recreate and duplicate in Photoshop. So let's begin. We're going to hit our create new layer icon, and we're just going to drag the top one above it. Click that layer, make sure it's active. We're going to hit our rectangular marquee tool, and we're just going to get the dimensions correct. So what we're going to do is just, now if you need to move the rectangular marquee tool at any time, just hit shift and you can move that whole arrow while keeping its proportions. So we're going to get that one there. That looks good. Now if you notice, this logo is made up of two different colors, which is a darker red and a lighter red, and just a simple drop shadow. So we're going to also create this little arch decorative pattern down at the bottom as well. So to get that color, we're going to hit our foreground color and click on that color there. Click OK. Hit Alt Delete to fill that in, and hit Control D. And if we turn off the eyeball next to the actual Netflix layer logo, you'll see that we have that shape on its own layer. What we're going to do now, before we go any further, is put black as a background, and we're going to click the layer that we just selected and hit Control and the new layer icon, and it'll make a layer beneath it, and we're going to fill that in with black. So hit D on your keyboard to change your background and foreground colors to black and white respectively, and then we're going to hit Alt Delete to fill that in with black. So now it's on its own layer with a black background. Hit Control J one time, and we're going to turn back on the Netflix logo layer. Select it and turn its opacity down to about anywhere between 20 and 30 should be fine. Click on that top layer, hit V to change it to the move tool, hit shift, and then slide that rectangle on over to where you feel it's appropriate. Good. And now if we turn that layer off, we've got that in there, which looks good. Now what we're going to do is select a new layer again on top of the other layers, and we're just going to scroll in, make sure that N is on its own layer. And it looks like this one could come over a little bit more. We're going to move it to the left by hitting the left arrow key. Good. That looks like it's right in the right spot. Now, select layer 4. Let's hit our polygonal lasso tool, which is already selected. And we're going to come up to this top corner here. Bring it down to there. Bring it over here. Bring it up to there. And over till you get the circle. And now we're going to fill that color in. So let's turn this layer all the way back up so we can select that bright red color that we want. Hit our foreground color. Select that color. Click OK. Remember to go back down to layer 4 and hit Alt Delete. Control D to deselect. And if we turn off this eyeball next to the Netflix layer, we've got our logo. But we're not done yet. We've got the outline. Now we have to do the shadowing. But before we do the shadowing, let's take care of the arch down here at the bottom. So what we're going to do is make another layer, hit B for the brush tool, and make sure the flow and the opacity is all the way up to 100. Right click and make sure the hard brush is selected. And let's take our shapes layer, the 3 that make the N, and put them in a group by hitting Control G. And let's name that N. And let's make a duplicate copy in case we mess up. We'll have a copy that's already set up by hitting Control J. And then we're going to turn that eyeball layer off. And now we can turn this layer down a little bit. And then turn this one all the way up so we can get the angle of the that cutout just right. So we're going to make that fairly small, and we're going to make our brush bigger by hitting the right bracket key, and we were trying to duplicate that angle there, so we're going to make it as big as we need to. That looks about right about there. So what we're going to do is make sure layer 5 is selected. Let's choose white, and to do that, to change our background foreground colors, just hit X and it'll reverse the colors. And what we're going to do is just click one time there, which you won't be able to see because this layer is selected, but if we take it off, it's right there. So we're going to come back down, and what we're going to do now is hit V for our move tool, and let's decrease the opacity. That looks good because we want it to go from this corner, arch over to that corner. So what we'll do is open up that layer there. We're going to control click this layer right on the icon, and it's going to select it. And then we're going to come down here, hit delete, hit delete, hit delete by selecting each layer and hitting delete. Now we're going to control D to deselect. We're going to turn this layer off, see how it looks. Turn the opacity back up to 100%. That looks great. Now what we can do is delete this layer here by just selecting that layer and hitting delete. Now we're going to make the shadows. So click layer 2 copy, click the new layer icon, and what we're going to do now is click on B for brush, right click, select the soft brush, and then to make it smaller, hit your left bracket key. And now we're going to turn the opacity down to between 55 and 60, which is fine. Flow between 55 and 60, which is fine. And what you're going to do, make sure you're selected on that new layer and not on any of the shape layers. You're going to click and Control Alt Z to undo. We want to make sure our background foreground color is black, so hit D. Now you're just going to click once and release, come down to this corner and hit Shift, click, go back up, click again, come back down, click again. All right, let's see if that's dark enough. Yeah, that's dark. Well, let's make it a little bit darker. We'll do it again. Hold Shift. There we go. And this is our Netflix logo, and that's their Netflix logo. I don't think that's too bad at all, guys. So that's how you create the Netflix logo, quick and easy. And if you want to make a ribbon, which you can use the same technique we just did, let's close this layer. Let's copy it by hitting Control J. Turn this one off. We're going to merge our layers all together onto one layer by right-clicking, hit Merge Group. Now it's only on one layer and not separated into layers, shapes, or shadows. Hit Control T, hold Shift, and then just rotate it. Hit the check mark to accept. And what we're going to do is just zoom in, grab our polygonal lasso tool, come here, come here, come there, and hit delete. Control D to deselect. Come here, and there. Hit delete. Control D to deselect. And now you've got your nice little ribbon. I hope you guys enjoyed this simple tutorial. If you did, hit that like button. And also, if you want to watch more hot new content weekly, hit that subscribe button. Thanks, and until next time, God bless. Peace.